New player mistake number 3, tapping mana incorrectly. I know you old pros don't have a problem with this, but this is a video for the new players. When you tap mana for spells, do you tap the right ones? We're going to go over that right now. Reaching and teaching young mages of all ages. Welcome, young mage, I'm Rhino. Before we get started, tell me in the comments below, what mistakes do you see new players making? I'd love to do a video about the mistake. Today we are going over tapping mana in the correct order. Spells and mana abilities require mana to cast or activate. I see a lot of new players making the mistake of tapping the wrong mana. I don't mean they are cheating or not tapping enough. What I see them doing is not thinking through the generic mana. Generic mana is that gray circle with a number in it. You can use any type of mana for that portion of the spell cost. But some mana is more useful than others. The obvious is land that can tap for more than one color. These should almost always be used last. I will tell you why in a moment. Here is an example of the mistake I see a lot. We have a jungle delver on the battlefield with 2 counters on it. We have 7 untapped mana, 4 islands and 3 forests. Before combat, I want to cast Herald of Secret Streams, and so my jungle delver will be unblockable. Most new players will tap the 4 islands. It is quick and easy. Even players that have been playing for a while make this mistake, using up all of one color of mana for the generic cost. This limits what you can cast in decks that use 2 or more colors of mana. We had enough mana to cast in both spells, but since all of the islands are tapped, we can't cast the Gopala Warden of Waves spell on our second main phase. Okay, that was pretty simple. Here's another. We have a vampire deck with a playset of 4 of each vampire. We have a Legion Conquistador and a Sanctum Seeker in our hand. We have 7 untapped mana, 3 plains and 4 swamps. What do you think we should do? Pause the video and come up with your answer. I'll wait. Most people would say to cast both the Legion Conquistador and the Sanctum Seeker. You could simply use the 3 plains for the Legion Conquistador and the 4 swamps for the Sanctum Seeker. That's a reasonable play, but the better play is this. Use 1 plains and 2 swamps to cast the Legion Conquistador. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for the other 3 Legion Conquistadors. You have enough mana to cast another one using 1 plains and 2 swamps. Next turn, you can cast the Sanctum Seeker before you attack, so your opponent will lose 2 life and you will gain 2 life. You will also have enough mana to cast another Legion Conquistador. What do you think of that solution? Now, do you remember that I said that you should almost always use your special land last? Here's why. You will have some opponents that understand the cards. They understand the decks. With this understanding, they can figure out what types of spells you may be able to play with the mana that you haven't tapped. If you have a land that can be tapped for more than 1 color, that opens up the number of spells it can be useful for. If you always leave the special lands last, your opponent will have a much harder time figuring out what you can cast. Let's say that we have the following mana, and one mountain is untapped for a game of Standard. Since we are only showing one color untapped, that gives us enough mana to cast 24 spells. If the mana was tapped this way, we now have 2 colors that can be tapped. And that gives us mana to cast 48 spells. And if more than one mana is untapped, the possibilities are even greater. That makes figuring out what you can cast much more difficult. I'm sure some players do this. How often do you make this mistake? Do you secretly like it when your opponent messes up? Tell me in the comments below. If you like this video, consider subscribing. Just hit that Rhino down below. And don't forget the bell notification so you don't miss anything. These videos are possible because of my sponsor, Fire Canyon Games, and my generous patrons. Check out the videos on the side, they may interest you. I have more videos coming out soon, so until then, Rhino out. I went all wonky there.